It's not that the weirdness of the moment doesn't strike me. I realize that the two of us don't really know each other, and at the same time, there's that comforting, unattributable vibe we're both feeling, which intuitively tells us that we should get to know each other. By showing me his room, he's giving me a glimpse of his soul. I am nervous about giving in return. The book I read was Boy Meets Boy by David Levithan. This is a book about Paul and his friends Tony and Joni, his ex boyfriend Kyle, his other friend Infinite Darlene, and the love interest Noah. This is a book about friendships, about relationships, about making friends, about losing friends, and about fixing relationships. I really liked this book because it's basically a teenage chick flick, but not with a boy and a girl. It's a boy and a boy, and it's really cute, and it, like if you like John Green, this is better than John Green on so many levels because it's a love story, but it's not the typical love story. And I mean, come on, we're all tired of the typical love story. A big thing in David Levithan's writing style are metaphors, similes, diction. Definitely, he uses a ton of amazing diction. The words he uses, like, I'm blown away. I would never think to use those words. They're amazing. But like one of the passages I really liked, and like I highlighted the whole thing because it was so beautiful and amazing, used a lot of repetition. And he did this several times in the book, but this was one of the more prominent like things that stood out to me, and that's what I'm going to be reading. I wonder what feeling bad means in this particular situation. I can't imagine it's the same feeling bad as when you lend your boyfriend your favorite ultra comfortable sweater and then find him wearing it as he says that the only thing he can muster towards you is annoyance. And then wearing it again a week later as he walks past you in the halls, pretending you don't even exist as he flirts with the one girl who had been after him the whole time you'd been going out. It can't be the same feeling bad as knowing that the sweater you looked best in, the sweater you felt best in, the sweater you now fear he'll be wearing when you see him in between classes, is sitting at the bottom of a closet where he doesn't give a damn about it, or has been given away to some other person he's pretended to love. So, as I said earlier in my video, one of the bigger things that David Levithan uses in his books are similes and metaphors. A lot. He uses them a lot, but I'm going to only read about two to you guys. My personal favorite metaphor, maybe in the entire book, is on page 2, and it's I am 3 notes in the middle of a song. And I really, really liked that, so I decided to share that with you. And the other one is on page 66, and it's a simile. The pond's surface is like a wrinkled blue shirt with small buoy buttons marking the distance of water. Just the way that he writes is so poetic, and I think that's why he incorporates so many metaphors and similes into his writing, and it makes it beautiful. The book wouldn't be half as emotional if he didn't include all these similes and metaphors, because the way that they affect you is they affect you so strongly and make the words and meaning behind those words more clear. And it's beautiful, honestly. This book is beautifully written. David Levithan's style of writing is gorgeous. It's amazing. I love the way that he writes. Two of the things really that I really liked about this book was how relatable it was and how realistic it was. Like it went from hilarious to not like serious in 2 paragraphs. And that helped with relatability about it because a lot of people, if they aren't happy or if they're upset about something, they will joke around about it. They aren't going to be like, hey, I'm upset. I'm going to be all sad about it. They're going to try and dance around it. And that's how this book kind of does it. So I'm going to read a little part to you guys that I thought was really relatable, one, and really realistic, two. So what's up with you? I ask. Not much. And how are things? Fine. I make a loud game show buzzer noise. I'm sorry, I say. We don't recognize fine as an acceptable answer. We see it as a conversational cop-out, so please, try again. Tony sighs again, but not that heavily. He knows he's been snagged. If I ever say fine to him, he reacts the same way. I've actually been thinking about life lately, and this one image keeps coming to me, he says. Do you know when you cross against traffic, you look down the street and see a car coming, but you know you can get across before it gets to you. So even though there's a don't walk sign, you cross anyway.
And there's always a split second when you turn and see that car coming, and you know that if you don't continue moving, it will all be over. That's how I feel a lot of the time. I know I'll make it across. I always make it across. But the car is always there, and I always stop to watch it coming. I feel like that monologue that Tony has right there is really relatable to anyone, whether it's depression or if it's stress from school or if it's family problems or whatever. It's really relatable. Anybody, somebody, anybody at some point in their life has felt that way. And so I really like that monologue because it's really relatable to anyone, no matter what. And also that little part at the beginning of the passage I just read to you where it was like, sorry, we don't accept fine as an acceptable answer. Like, that's something I would say to my friends. So, I don't know. It's relatable both in a friendly way, like things you would talk to your friends about, and it's relatable in a personal way, like things that you feel and you relate to them in that you feel that way sometimes as well.
I would recommend this book for everyone, but seeing as I have to specify for the sake of this project, I'm going to recommend it to high school, both boys and girls, more specifically girls because they're more inclined to like the romance part of it, but boys too because it's not just romance, it's friendship. It's like it's got football in there sort of. I mean, it doesn't actually talk about the football game, but it's got it in there. Um I think probably uh, just really anyone who likes young adult realistic fiction because it's amazing. It's one of the best books I've ever read, and I highly recommend it to everyone. If I give it 5 stars, and if I can go above that, I give it 500 because it was really good. That's how good it was. Um, so I mean, read the book, dude.